In the modern world, we are told that building immense wealth takes decades of grinding, investing in index funds, or launching tech startups. But on June 15, 2026, a 40-year-old man from a tiny island nation shattered that entire economic theory. He didn't trade crypto, he didn't invent an app. He just stood in front of a white net for 90 minutes. This is Josimar Dias, better known as Vozinha. Before this week, he was a virtually unknown goalkeeper playing in the obscure second division of Portugal, making a modest living. But within 72 hours of stepping off a pitch in the 2026 World Cup, his financial valuation exploded. His Instagram account went from a tiny 50,000 followers to a staggering 11 million followers. How does a 40-year-old athlete, who didn't even turn professional until he was 25, pull off the greatest financial heist in sports history? Today on B-Side Theory, we are breaking down the terrifying power of the attention economy and how one man accidentally hijacked it. To understand how valuable Vozinha's performance was, you first need to understand the concept of asymmetrical valuation. In business, when a small startup goes up against a trillion-dollar monopoly like Apple or Google, the startup almost always loses. The monopoly has more capital, better infrastructure, and premium talent. Football is no different. On paper, the match between Spain and Cape Verde shouldn't have been legally allowed to happen. Spain's roster is worth over $1 billion. Their players are premium financial assets owned by the biggest clubs in the world. Cape Verde, a tiny volcanic archipelago off the coast of West Africa with a population smaller than a minor European city. And guarding their net was Vozinha. At 40 years old, most football players are long retired, sitting on a beach, or working as coaches. Vozinha was playing for GD Chaves in the Portuguese second tier. His market value, practically negligible in the grand scheme of global sports. But economic systems have a major flaw. They assume the favorites always win. When the whistle blew, Spain did exactly what a billion-dollar machine does. They dominated. They pressed. They fired shot after shot. But Vozinha turned the penalty area into an absolute fortress. He made 7 world-class saves. 6 of those were from point-blank range inside the box. Shots that statistically have a 90% chance of ending up in the back of the net.
Think about the sheer psychological pressure. In finance, we talk about high-frequency trading, where milliseconds decide millions of dollars. For Vozinha, every microsecond reaction was the difference between national humiliation and a historic miracle. By the 90th minute, the score was 0-0. A team of multi-millionaire superstars couldn't break a 40-year-old veteran.
He didn't just secure a draw, he became the oldest player to ever debut in a nation's first ever World Cup match, and the oldest to keep a clean sheet. He was handed the Man of the Match award, and that is exactly when the real economic engine kicked into overdrive. In the 21st century, attention is the ultimate currency. It is more liquid than oil, and more volatile than Bitcoin. When the world saw this 40-year-old underdog crying tears of joy, the internet did what it does best. It obsessed over him. The algorithm caught fire. Within hours, millions of fans from India, America, Brazil, and Europe started hitting that follow button. Going from 50,000 followers to 11 million isn't just a vanity metric. Let's do the actual math. An account with 11 million highly engaged, globally diverse followers transitions an individual from a local athlete to a Tier 1 global influencer. In marketing terms, a single sponsored post or brand endorsement from an account with that level of viral velocity can command anywhere from $25,000 to $100,000 per post. For a guy playing in the lower divisions of Portugal, that single 90-minute game generated more long-term earning potential than his entire 15-year playing career combined. Brands aren't paying for his football skills, they are paying for the story of the man who beat the system. So, what is the ultimate theory here? Vozinha's story proves that the modern world doesn't reward linear effort. It rewards outsized moments of extreme impact. He didn't turn professional until he was 25, an age when most scouts say you are too old to make it. He waited 15 more years for his moment. In personal finance and wealth building, we talk about the compounding effect. You work in silence, you build your skills, you survive the rough patches, and Vozinha literally got his nickname Vozinha or Little Grandma because he used to run away from rough games as a kid. But he didn't quit. He kept compounding his experience. When the window of opportunity opened on the world's biggest stage, he was ready to capture the world's attention. And if you can capture attention, you capture the wealth. One match, 90 minutes, 11 million minds captured. Vozinha didn't just play a game, he executed the ultimate leverage play. If you want to understand how the forces of money, power, and attention are reshaping our world, make sure to hit that subscribe button. This is B-Side Theory, and we'll see you in the next breakdown.